Sagittarius. Hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your shift reading for the month of April. So we're looking at the shape you are shifting out of this month, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like for you. So before we get into cards, Sag, the image that's coming to me as I'm sitting with your energy is pretty cool, actually. I'm seeing you morphing your energy into pure electricity and traveling through underground wire networks, sort of like internet cables that are laid under the ground, creating this like larger underground network. And it's like you transform into electricity. And then it's very hard to describe the experience that I felt in this visualization, but it was like you were traveling at the speed of light, just like coursing through this network, this cable, these like cables or wires that were conducting the electricity, and you were traveling along that network, or maybe like creating the network yourself. There's something about an underground network and like specifically traveling through the form of electricity. This is obviously analogous to the internet, like this is pointing towards the internet, energy of the internet, energy of electronic communication, using electricity to our advantage to create connective networks at this time. But there's something specific, Sag, about the way you are utilizing that and almost like turning your energy into that electricity, that type of electricity, in order to expand your network or something along those lines. And it's interesting too, again, before we get into cards here, there's a guide that I've pulled out for your April shift reading, and this is the Chariot energy. It came out for you in the global pandemic reading that I did a few videos back. So if you haven't watched that, check it out maybe after this reading. But this is the guide that came through for Sagittarius energy during this pandemic from the Mary L. Tarot. And it also came through the collective reading, and it talked about the ways, the desire to move, because the Chariot is a vehicle that takes us forward, okay? And this is a desire that we have to move forward as a collective. And I think, Sag, you are very much tapped in to that desire. But it's like, we have to move forward together. I was seeing this wolf pack as like a supportive network, communal network, because wolves support each other by putting the strongest members of the population at either end of the pack as they travel, and the most vulnerable in the center, so that the whole pack is supported. And that's the analogy, I think, for us in terms of how to move forward as a community in the face of this virus, in a supportive way and a heart-centered way. And I think, Sag, you're very much tapped into that. And so perhaps I'm speaking to someone who's like utilizing the non-contact, physical contact ways we have of being in connection in order to do that. And like maybe you're even, because the energy was so strong, it could be that you're like forging a new way, or you're somehow like blazing this trail. You're like at the forefront of this. And it makes sense because Sagittarius needs to move, that energy needs to move. And so you're seeking, I could imagine that Sag energy at this time would be like, all right, these are the given circumstances. How do we think outside the box here? How can we get movement in such a moment of restriction? Okay. Let's go to the Spolia Tarot, Sag, and ask, what is the shape you are shifting out of in the month of April? What is the shape Sagittarius is shifting out of in the month of April? Okay. Shifting out of the Nine of Coins an energy of independence, an energy of security within the self, an energy of very pointed focus. Okay. Now let's get the shape you're shifting into. What is the shape Sag is shifting into in the month of April? Ooh. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. 7 of Coins. Interesting shape shift. Yeah, I'm getting this message. It's pretty clear. Okay. Here's the 7 of Coins. Notice how we go from, I'm seeing this as someone who's got this nascent idea pointing to one seed right here. And it's actually like an emerald. I think it's coming through to me as a gem of an idea. And again, here you are, Sagittarius, reaching for the higher point, reaching for the higher philosophy, aiming for that expansion of the way we are thinking, okay? Aiming to expand the ways that we are thinking and doing and dealing in the face of this pandemic. And it's like you're reaching towards this gem of an idea, and then you shift into planting the seeds necessary for that idea to sprout. That's exactly what we're seeing here, is all of these seeds have sprouted and are in fact just on the verge of blooming. And I love that it goes from one seed, like the seed planted, to multiple, which seems to me to be communicating this idea of expanding the network. It's like, I have this idea for how we can do this. You all should do it in your city, and you all should do that in your city, and you should do it with your business, and you should do it with your business, or whatever that is. And it's like your idea is something that you're passing along to others, and then they're just beginning to sprout all over the map. That's kind of how I'm seeing that. Maybe, Sag, you are creating a network, and here it is. And it's like when that network is gathered together, things begin to pop off. Things begin to sprout and bloom. This is very spring energy, which we are in Aries season. We are in the spring here in April. Yes. Okay. Let's get what this shape shift looks and feels like for you in April, Sag. Okay. What does the shape shift look and feel like for Sagittarius? One more, please. Okay. I knew this Aquarius card was going to come out because this is what I felt. The electricity. This is exactly what I felt in that meditation. It's like electricity coursing through the wires. Maybe even like this inspiration energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, is one of its rulers, and Uranus conducts electricity. Uranus is the lightning strike. And here it is, this electric idea that you seem to be drawing down from above. Look at that. There it is. Drawing it down from above. And look, it's even becoming little seeds down here, which I'm seeing as this 7 of Pentacles. Drawing down the idea. Okay, I didn't even show you the progression. Look at this. You're trying to find a way to bring people together. I think that's what this is about, because I felt in the opening meditation this idea of creating a network or utilizing a network, something like that. Here's what the shift looks like. From the 5 of Wands to Aquarius energy, the inspiration, the lightning strike, to the 2 of Cups, which is people coming together and utilizing their gifts in a symbiotic, reciprocal relationship with one another. And I kind of love in this card for this moment in time how they're not actually touching. Let's imagine they're 6 feet apart. This person is 6 feet behind this person, okay? They're not actually touching one another, but they've got pieces of each other. You know, it's like this person has this person's gold cup and this person has this person's blue cup. And it's like they're using each other's skills to create and help something bloom here. Even if they're not physically able to touch. And so I've been seeing this 5 of Wands as stagnant energy, because this liquid down here looks quite stagnant. It's got a mummified hand in there, and this diffuser is like wafting that stagnant energy into the air. The 5 of Wands tends to talk about confusion, chaos energy. And so I think like the confusion and chaos of this moment as we all try to navigate, it's like, you know, the blind leading the blind, because none of us really know what's going on with this virus. And so as we're trying to navigate in a world where we really can't see the way forward in a clear way, as we feel our way forward, we have other senses that can help us navigate this. But many of us are not used to using them, okay? And so it's creating a bit of chaos and maybe even a bit of stagnancy. And this is the energy I've been feeling with Sagittarius since this guide came out for you in the global pandemic reading. I'm feeling this energy that you want to move, Sag. You are like, oh man, I want to move. Like, I don't want to be stagnant in this way. I don't want things to stagnate. I don't want this like cloud wafting through, diffusing through the air, making everything just like boo, heavy, stagnant, drawn down. It's like, no, I want freedom of movement. I want to expand. I want to extend my limbs. I want to reach, okay? And so in order to do that, it's like you move from this stagnant energy to bam, the lightning striking, and you're pulling down this idea from above about how we can connect and how other humans and their specific, unique set of skills and talents are our greatest resource at this time. And you, Sagittarius, seem to recognize that. And so you are creating maybe some sort of network that helps to nurture that and grow that, and helping each person in your network, helping their seeds to sprout and bloom through this crisis time. It's rad. It's real rad. Let's go to, speaking of sprouting and blooming, let's go to the Botanical Tarot by Kevin J. Stanton. I've been using this deck to ask, you know, in the face of this pandemic, it's like the infrastructures that we have come to define as our reality and depend on as part of our reality, many of them are beginning to crumble. We are beginning to see the cracks in the fabric of our own foundations. And so I'm wondering here in springtime with this deck full of botanicals, what is sprouting up through the wreckage? Which is a perfect question to ask here for your reading, Sagittarius. So let's ask for you, Sag, what is sprouting up through the wreckage in the month of April for Sagittarius? Okay. We got, yeah, beautiful. Freaking beautiful. 2 cards. This is coming out for a couple of folks. We got the Hierophant, which is essentially, I'm seeing this as the earthly human experience, and this is like your higher self, the wisdom and perspective of your higher self. And I'm actually seeing this Hierophant energy as being associated with the lightning strike because of the white, and the white, it's like drawing that down into the earth, drawing this knowledge from your higher self down to the earth to share a message with the world, to share a message with a larger network about this inspiration you have had, about this idea, perhaps. Okay, because it's interesting too, the Hierophant is often depicted as a priest who's like the channel between heaven and earth and has a platform, a pulpit from which to share this message. And so that's kind of how I'm seeing this, Sag. I may be talking to someone that's got a bit of a platform or a network of people that you can share this idea with, this gem of an idea. And I love too that we're expanding from an energy that's often associated with being solo or being individual, and we're expanding into multiple seeds, not just a singular individual, but expanding the network to include community. That's kind of what this feels like. And you also got the Tower. These are tea roses, by the way, for anyone that's wondering. And the Tower, let me just remind myself. Yeah, I never know how to say this, and I don't frankly even know what it is. Malus Sieversi. But essentially what we're seeing is, here's that lightning bolt. There's that lightning bolt striking the branch, shaking the fruit and the petals off of the branch, and it falls to the ground. As we are in this collective tower moment, essentially, we are in this collective fall. We're all falling off the branch that had once supported us. But it's interesting because it sort of feels like the time is ripe for that somehow, Sagittarius, and you're tuned into that. You're tuned into the timing being ripe for this, because it's like this fruit that's falling off the branch looks ready to fall off the branch, strangely enough. That's something that I've never really seen in this card before. But it's like, if shaking the branch causes the fruit to fall off, maybe that's because the fruit was ready. The fruit was ripe, which feels like the Seven of Pentacles energy, big time. Ripe for the picking, ripe to bloom, ready to bloom. Okay, Sag. We're going to take this into an extended reading. I'm going to use other decks to get deeper clarity here as to exactly how this is playing out in your specific experience. So if you are looking for deeper insight on this reading and you'd like to view the second half, you can stick around. At the end of this reading, there'll be a little preview of the extended so that you can make sure it's resonant with you. If it is, and you'd like to view it, click the link in the description below, and that will take you over to Patreon. Patreon's an online community that I've created for folks who are interested in diving deeper into my work. So if that sounds like you, click the link in the description. When you get over to Patreon, please read the blurb on the homepage so that you understand how Patreon works, and you'll be able to view this extended reading. Okay, so maybe I'll see some of you over there, but regardless, Sag, thanks so much for tuning in. Please note that I'm offering 10% off of all personal readings at this time, and I recognize that people are experiencing pay freezes. So if that's you and you are interested in creating a payment plan with me to get some deeper personal insight at this time, I'm willing to work with you. Go to my website, unseenhandshealing.com, get in touch with me, and we will talk it through. All right, Sag, thanks for joining me, and take extra care. Regardless, you've got a vision. A vision has come to you, and no matter how uncanny or strange it may seem, it's like, this is your offering, Sag. The offering, the Page of Swords, you've got something to share. You've got something to offer here. And I think it's a solution. It's a solution regarding resources. And I like that it's a feather, because feathers to me, it's like birds being able to fly, and Sagittarius wants to fly. But you could also see it as a feather quill. So writing could be, or communication in some way could be part of this offering, needing to communicate your offering. And then look at this. The enemy of intuition is self-doubt, my friend. It's like the only thing that would stop this from moving forward is if you didn't get on the train.